has a connection to probably 80 to 90% of those authors. So it was just so natural that we asked him to speak to us today. So without further ado, Wes Wages. Yay!
Thank you. Forgot my clicker over here. Yeah, thank you guys. It's so cool to kind of be in a room with people who do what they want to for a living. And even if you don't, you're kind of obviously inspired here. So it's pretty cool that we get to live in this area, which a lot of people question kind of why we do, I know. But I love it here, and I love things like this. So thank you guys for coming out. I want to tell you a little bit of story. It's a short one, and I'd actually love to talk a little bit more, just question and answer. But this is about failure at the beginning, which I have a lot of these stories. But in 7th grade, I auditioned for my middle school band. And of course, I wanted to be the drummer. What kind of middle school student did not want to be the drummer or the guy? Anybody else in here, actually? No? Okay. You fessed up. So I auditioned. I walked in there, and this is me. This is actually a 9th grade picture because I couldn't find the 7th grade picture, but subtract 2 years. I walked in there and auditioned for drums. I had practiced. And the first round of auditions, they said, "Hey, Wes, I'm sorry, I think you should play the tuba." And obviously, look at me. That's why, because I could hold the tuba. That's the only reason they wanted me to do that. And I said, you know what? No, I want to be a drummer. So this is my first failure. This is actually, I don't have a good memory, so this is the first time I actually remember significantly failing. And that's about it. But I didn't give up. That next week, I practiced, knowing that I didn't make the first round auditions. But by the second week, they said, "Hey, everybody who made the first round auditions, I want you to come back for second round." And I walked in anyways. I didn't tell anybody. I knew that not many people were watching who made the first round. And so I walked in there, and I had practiced so much that I auditioned, and I made the band. Look at that. It's pretty amazing. And so much so that, I started playing drums, and I got pretty good at it. And I started playing in some bands around, playing for this. This is actually my first sold-out concert. This is at the Hog Wild Festival in Corinth, Mississippi. And this is actually the VIP section. You guys can't see the rest of the crowd that's around.
There's even more empty chairs.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know why the empty chairs were there. But around the same time, I made my first film. This is Timothy Goes Frolicking. We're going to watch the next 50 minutes of this. Literally, it's actually 2 minutes of this entirely. This is the first film I ever did in high school. This is my best friend, Jason Banks. Dressed him up in a Twinkie costume and went out to Mississippi and shot a video. This is a little bit of foreshadowing. The drumming actually took me somewhere. I thought it was pretty awesome. I wanted to be a professional drummer for the rest of my life, play for sold-out crowds. And I said, you know what? To do that, I need to go to Belmont University because that's the best school, obviously, for percussion. Percussion actually paid for 2 years of my community college in Mississippi, so it paid for 2 years of school. And then I auditioned for Belmont. I had practiced 4 mallet pieces, everything percussion you could think of, and I didn't make it. So it was pretty tough on me practicing that long and realizing that I wasn't good enough to make it to Belmont. So I found UNA. I'd never heard of Florence before, but I came here, I failed, didn't give up, and I said, you know what, nobody's going to hire me because I have a sheet of paper saying I know how to play the drums. I'm just going to go ahead and switch and pursue the Twinkie film and try this route. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to switch to film and see what happens. So good things did happen. I met this girl right here. This is my wife, Tera Wages, and we're fast-forwarding a good bit, but we started this business called Armosa Studios. And a lot happened in between there. My wife actually started the business on her own. We started shooting weddings, and it all started with a $600 camera. That was our first, that was an investment from a family member, I think. And we've built the business on zero debt ever since. And so we can talk a little bit more about that. I don't have financial investors. I don't have VCs, nor do I want investors. And this is just a different route. This is the route that I prefer to take. I think people having VCs is awesome. I mean, if you want to accelerate your company, but I just prefer to take it slow and hire super slow. So naturally, we're storytellers. It's pretty awesome. We get to travel the world. We've been to about 30 countries telling stories for people. And we get to live here and do that for a living, which honestly just kind of blows my mind that people sometimes ask us to go around. These are photos that I just got from Google Images. It's pretty awesome if you just type your name into Google Images and see what comes up. And to see all the people that we remember and the stories we've told. So I go back. My wife started the business for photography. I worked for a church here locally for about 5 years, and then she got so busy that she hired me into the business. And luckily, I was the only one that applied for the job. And so we did that for about 4 years. And then I said, hey, you know what? While we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and pursue my film degree as well. So we started shooting a lot more video. And we traveled even more, shooting documentaries. And so much so that we brought some part-time people on, stuff like that. But before that, as we were traveling, we realized that, well, let me tell you the story really quick. Another story of failure. We were shooting for a client in New York City who does online businesses. She does an online course. She does about $8 million in profit every year for 4 weeks. Her name's Marie Forleo. She called us one day. She said, hey, Wes and Tera, I want to send you around U.S., Canada, and about 5 countries in Europe. And I want you to tell stories of my students. So we said, amazing, let's do it. So we had actually shot in New York City. We were there for Hurricane Sandy, actually. I think that was premonition for the rest of the week. We shot there, then went to Amsterdam. We shot in London, Barcelona, in Amsterdam. I think I said that. But we shot all of this stuff, and on this day, this is November 10th. I forget which year, 2009, I guess. All of my camera bag was stolen with all of our hard drives and all of our camera gear. So, and it's funny, I'm a natural storyteller, so immediately I just took a picture of the moment. So this is actually the moment that we realized on the train station in Italy that our camera bag was stolen with all the hard drives that we had shot for the past 3 weeks. So we're talking about $20,000 in gear that was stolen right then, and then also about $30,000 worth of just video work. So we had shot 3 weeks. And this is with us talking to the Italian police about, getting, just saying that we had stuff stolen for our insurance company. By the way, I highly recommend Frank Dean and State Farm Insurance. He didn't pay me. This is an interesting conversation when neither of you speak the same language as well. And you try to tell them what you do for a living. So the thing is we didn't give up, though. We said, you know what? Our business has failed. Our second option there was to be cruise photographers because we knew we could just go do that without any overhead. But we said, no, what? We're just going to keep it going. We came back and we said, you know what? We travel the world and everybody asks us why we live in Alabama. And I'm sure some of you get that question. And I said, you know what? It's pretty cool. So we said, we're going to start this thing called madeintheshoals.com. And we're going to share stories of our area to where people look at it and say, hey, that's actually a cool place to live. And we did that. So we just did it as a passion project first, and it's turned into a pretty cool thing. Lee Taylor's doing a podcast for that now as well. And we're slowly rolling some stuff out like that. And it's been awesome. We've had a lot of people see this stuff that we hear stories all the time. But people love this area. So we had Armosa Studios. We did Made in the Shoals. We also started this thing called Maple, which is in downtown. It's a little retail shop. We're starting that up. We said, hey, we have this space downtown. We might as well not be closed up B2B business. Let's just put in a little retail shop so downtown doesn't look, so we can add to it. So we started Maple. We also, this is another business we're doing. It's called Drive Hound. This all became of a problem. Actually, relates back to Italy when all of my hard drives were stolen. I said, you know what? We need some type of program that can help us identify where all of our footage is. We actually have 54 terabytes of footage and over about 26 to 36 hard drives. Is that right, Justin? Yeah. Okay. Justin does our data management over there. But so this program is pretty cool. We're partnering with a guy in Germany right now. This is a business idea right now. So this guy had actually created the product. He created the platform, but his website and his branding and everything looks horrible. His website is .de. The program is called NeoFinder, but that's not even the website. The website's called cdfinder.e. There's just a lot of branding mistakes there. So he said, you know what? How about we sell your product, and we'll get 50% of all the sales, and we'll give you 50% of all the sales. But the thing is we just increase the price of the product. So there's no money out for him. He's like, fine, you take my product, we're going to rebrand it. And then for us, we're like, okay, awesome. We have a great program that we're going to sell and make 50% of the profit. So there's no overhead except building a website, which is super easy. So it really is, I promise. And then we're also talking about being a landlord. I don't know. We'll see. This is another avenue. We also have another business called weswages.com, which is a pretty simple name, I guess. So what we do is we educate entrepreneurs on how to shoot video, which is pretty cool. Online education, I think, is skyrocketing right now. And if you know something, then teach other people. The way we came about this is everybody started asking us questions about cameras, naturally. Asking us questions about how to do this, what camera should I buy. So we said, hey, we can educate the masses with this, obviously. So we basically teach people about camera choices. We teach people about editing. And this is all online. So this is, we build one product and then we sell it a lot of times, obviously. We don't have to worry about a lot of overhead with this. And it's residual income, meaning basically money comes in to the bank and we don't really have to do anything. Maybe a little bit of customer service. So these are some guys that are pretty close to me. This is Alex, Justin, and Lee. So our team has grown slowly, but pretty awesome. We have a team of 5 now. My wife is obviously the CEO, and she has a heavy say in things. We also have a babysitter on staff to take care of my kids, so that's one cool thing. That's a tax write-off. And yeah, but it's pretty cool. Alex does project management. Alex is one of our first hires because we said, gosh, we need some help as far as, just taking care of clients, make sure they get what they want. And then Justin is our editor and also does data management. He's here today. And Lee is just hired on. We stole him from VVC, and because it was awesome. And he's creative director right now, and we're doing some really cool things. One thing I'd love to say, people are coming to us for ideas, not to do their ideas now. So that's a little bit of, we used to take people's ideas and film them, and now people are coming to us for the ideas, and we're doing them then. So it's been great to see. It's been fun. Here are a few of our clients. We've worked for most people in the area, I think, which I absolutely love. You've probably if you've seen a video from the area, we may have had something to do with it. And then I wanted to show this little spot. I don't even know if forgot to check this.
I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I love the bustling city.
This is something we did for UNA.
I love the bustling city. I even had the opportunity to work at the Georgia Aquarium. And from that, I was certain that this was a passion I wanted to continue to chase in college. Out of 12 different schools, I chose UNA. My name is Haley Beck. I'm a senior majoring in marine biology. UNA gave me the opportunity to transform my passion into a career.
So this is a really fun project. We got to work with Jeremy and his team on. We shot a whole campaign for them for admissions, and their enrollment went up, which is a good thing. We like to say we have something to do with it. I don't know. We're not going to ask questions, but it was really fun. And I just show, we drove to Atlanta and got these shots. We try to think a little bit outside of the box of what naturally you would first think of. And so we told Haley's story from her perspective and not our perspective. And I think that's one of the best things about storytelling is you tell the story from the perspective of the character. So I'll end with this. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. I really pray that you guys overcome your failures, which we have many times, and pursue. And failure will come no matter what the size of your business is. And obviously, it's exponential growth here. The larger your business, the more failure and stuff you'll encounter, and just to keep moving on. And that may be even as small as building a website, which is easy now, but when you're at the beginning, I know that's one of the toughest obstacles. So just keep pressing on. So I would love to talk questions we have a lot of business. We're serial entrepreneurs, I would say. We have our hands in a lot of things. And we build